Be human.
So I actually want to talk about this career of bounty hunting, since The Mandalorian is about a bounty hunter going on assignment that changes his life. And let's talk about real-life bounty hunters, or what they're officially called, bail enforcement agents. Now, there is no other job that maybe could be more American than bounty hunting, because its legality is a mishmash of confusing requirements, regulations, and certifications. It varies by state, everything from a complete ban on the practice, go figure Kentucky has banned the practice.
I know, that was weird.
To no rules whatsoever, which you can find in Wyoming, right? The wild, wild west. Now, the process of becoming a bail enforcement agent is very ramshackle. Virginia requires a $500 40-hour course, a $200 state fee, and an FBI background check. And that is pretty much it.
40 hours?
40 hours.
Yep.
Now, basically, the bounty hunters or bail enforcement agents, they say they provide a basic public service at no cost to taxpayers because jails are too overcrowded to lock up every defendant, and law enforcement is too overburdened and understaffed to go after every low-rent skip with an arrest warrant. In 2014, New York City alone had 1.5 million active warrants, many of them for failure to appear or petty crimes. So, Emma Kate, this is a question for you because in a lot of ways you feel like you have some type of personal relation or connection to this idea of a bounty hunter or a bail enforcement agent. Tell us a little bit more about your husband's line of work, and what do you think it would be like to be a bounty hunter?
Well, I have no idea what it would actually be like other than I would be terrified to do that job. And so for a little context, my husband is currently, he's law enforcement, but he was previously for the state of South Carolina. You can be, you are certified as a law enforcement officer when you are with probation and parole. And so he worked a specialized caseload for absconded individuals. And so if someone's absconded, that means they're not showing up. They have broken some, requirement with their probation or parole. And I always made it very clear. I was like, just talk to me after you go and do something, because I don't want to be afraid for you until I need to be afraid for you. And so, yeah, that's the only answer I have for this, because I don't know. I would not be a good hunter.
You wouldn't be a good hunter. Frank,
No.
do you think you'd be a good bounty hunter?
I would not, because everything I understand about being a bounty hunter sounds incredibly boring. It's sitting in a car, driving around, sitting in a car, driving around, staring at a house, trying to find somebody, and it just sounds...
That's like an Uber Eats driver, right?
Yeah, it sounds really boring, and it would not hold my attention at all.
I have to interrupt because it's not boring from what I gather. I mean, think about it. There's like a dangerous criminal that could just pop out, and you don't know if they're carrying a weapon, and you're just like, oh, I'm going to eat my sandwich in my Uber, and then something happens.
Well, the article I read says there are occasionally exciting moments. But for the majority of the between 2 and 10,000 bounty hunters in the country, it is very boring. And most of the people that they are going after are just they just didn't show up for a court case, or they didn't show up for something. And the interview with this one guy said it's very boring. It sounds good. Like you tell your friends, hey, I'm a bounty hunter. It sounds cool. But he said it's not exciting.
Maybe it's different.
I think it's different for law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah, because law enforcement are going to go after the high-profile people that skip out or with warrants.
Yeah,
where
these are the people that skip out on $2,000 bail or something like that. That's still like...
The idea that in America we outsource that for profit,
Yes.
That's pretty wild.
market. Now, Frank, do you think you would be good at evading a bounty hunter that was coming after you?
Not at all, because I do the same thing every single day. I'm a creature. I mean, they would capture me within 10 seconds.
Well, if you're a creature of habit, why couldn't you be a good bounty hunter? You'd create the habit, and then you just keep doing it over and over.
Because I'd be bored.
Well, I will say this. Nobody would mistake you for a bounty hunter. So that would be like rogue undercover, right?
Okay.
And your head's too big to fit into a Mandalorian helmet, so
True.
you couldn't have a disguise.
I think you'd be good at it.
I was going to say that too.
I think I'd be good at it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it would get boring,
You'd
so
get
I wouldn't
bored.
do it forever, or I'd have to have a side gig that was very stimulating. But the idea of like outwitting somebody,
You'd love it.
that sounds fun.
The game.
Now, what do you think about Dave as a bounty hunter?
I think he'd be
He would be better as the
I think
absconded.
he'd be.
Like the person being hunted. I think he would like that. But he would break eventually, like a bone or
Well, he's
something.
a creature of habits. I think he'd be pretty good
I
at
think
it.
Dave would be good at like undercover bounty hunting. So instead of like announcing that
Yes.
what he is, he's like, I have a singing telegram for you.
Yeah, like
Or,
he could
I'm
be a
here
good
to do
spy.
a magic show, right? It's your son's birthday, and
Yeah.
then he's like, he arrests
Ta-da.
or detains the
Yeah,
person.
but
Yeah.
if he's good at like being sneaky, then I feel like he could also be good at hiding.
The only
So,
problem is if his target sneezes, Dave's gonna break a bone,
yeah,
True.
and then
It's
off.
all over.
It's
very
all
weak
over there.
disposition.
Thanks for watching this Being Human segment from the Shrink Tank podcast. To watch the full episode, click here, or to check out previous episodes, click here.